The husband and wife were caught kissing by a group of hoodlums who took pictures with their phones. They were not offering their blessings, but rather mocking the man for his clumsiness. The husband quickly tried to stop them, as it was their private moment. However, the hoodlums, right in front of him, uploaded the photos online.
Take it down. Make me.
Unexpectedly, this simple request angered them. Not only did the hoodlums refuse to delete the photos, but one of them also provocatively poured a whole bottle of juice on the man's head, as he watched and dared not retaliate. Adding insult to injury, they loudly insulted the man, calling him a useless person who only relied on his wife. Faced with such humiliation, the man quietly turned and left the scene with his wife. On the way home, his wife reassured him, saying she didn't care what they said and didn't want him to fight them. She didn't like violent men. Although she said this, the next day she signed up for a free combat training class. She vented all her anger on the punching bag, even accidentally injuring her newly acquainted good friend Kuihua. She complained to Kuihua that her husband was good at everything but too honest. Even if he stayed home for a lifetime, she didn't want to leave this remote town to see the outside world. She was very traditional and disliked using technology like phones and computers, seemingly leading a secluded life. However, what she didn't know was that her husband was not only an honest man but also a top professional killer. He lived a low-key life in this small town to avoid being pursued by enemies. However, yesterday, the hoodlum posted his photos online, exposing his location. While shopping with his young son, he noticed a strange face beside him through the reflection in the glass. He realized the person was coming for him.
I'm so sorry about this, pal.
Although he hadn't trained for many years, he easily kicked the person, causing them to fall to the ground. He had been protecting his son with one hand while receiving the killer's attack with the other. However, even so, the person was no match for him. When he felt sorry for the damage he caused, the killer suddenly got up and forcefully pushed him away, almost hurting his son. This made him angry, and he beat the killer with one hand. Finally, he walked out of the supermarket, leaving the neighbors astonished. He knew his location had been exposed, so he quickly returned home. He performed a beautiful drift, stunning the neighbors, and then walked up to the third floor. He used a knife to cut open the wall next to it, revealing a coin with a button hidden underneath. He gently pressed the button, and the mechanism on the stairs instantly opened. He knew this day would come sooner or later, so he had prepared a long time ago. Inside, there were two guns and passports prepared for his family. However, after a few years, the passports had expired. In addition, there was a total of 1 million in cash. He called his former associate and asked him to prepare a new set of identification documents for himself and his family. The associate was shocked to hear his voice after 18 years, as he had thought the man was dead. However, Danielle didn't have time to drink with him. He needed to take his family and leave quickly. He lied to the children, saying they were going on a trip. "We're going to Las Vegas today." "What you said you want to do was spontaneous, I heard you." Unaware of the situation, his wife was delighted like a child after hearing about their trip. He didn't expect his usually rigid and boring husband to become so romantic. However, little did he know that once they left, they would never come back. Soon, the family got in the car and began their impromptu trip. However, just as they were about to drive out of the underground parking lot, the man noticed someone staring at him intently from a black car on the side of the road. It was clear they were after him. Taking advantage of a passing bus, the man quickly changed exits. Just when he thought he had shaken off the killer, the black car quietly caught up with them. Although he suddenly turned at an intersection, shaking off the pursuers once again, he quickly realized that these people could always find his location. So, he drove the car into a repair shop and used the excuse of inspecting the car to lift it up. Then, he found a tracking device on the chassis. The man removed it and immediately went outside, finding a colleague who had just finished repairing the car. While pretending to chat with her, he attached the tracking device to her Mustang. Then he said to her, "Get on the freeway, you open her up, and you get a ticket. It's on me." After hearing this, the colleague quickly drove away. Seeing the change in the man's location, the killer rushed to catch up. However, they couldn't catch up with the racing car. After shaking off a group of killers, the man and his family started their romantic road trip. However, he was still worried because his wife and children's phones could expose their location at any time. So, while crossing a bridge, he threw everyone's phones into the river. This shocked the family and made them think he had gone crazy, but only the man knew it was the safest thing to do. On the other side, the killers didn't give up. They found the man's house, and the leader ordered his subordinates to kill anyone who got in their way.